Hey guys, this is the SG-1803 from Pinecone Models, and my first impression when I was given the price was this is quite expensive, being a 1/18 scale, which is smaller than the BPL, commanding a similar price to the BPL. And the reply I got from Pinecone is that it has a 2-speed gearbox, but that can't be the reason that it costs as much as the BPL, right? But while being smaller. So in this video, we're gonna go in depth and see why it's worth that much. If you're interested, please support us on our sister store, Asia RC Depot. So let's find out. The box, in my opinion, is really nice though. The remote, the other side. Our version is blue color standard, and I believe the pro version is one with the brush motor. And there's actually another version with sort of like a police siren light. And on top, you see brushless motor here, steering gear shift because it's a 2-speed model, independent shocks, and off-road tires. So this is what you get out of the box with this vacuum foam plastic as a protection. The remote. So you get a manual, decals, and a USB charger. Wow, this is pretty nice though. Exploded wheel of the body, the drivetrain as well, and that's the 2-speed gearbox available. If you want to disassemble this completely, this diagram is really helpful. It shows everything. It's about the receiver. So this is rather comprehensive. This is much more detailed compared to WPL's kind of RTR manual. Now let's take a look at the body. It's a 1/18 scale. Seriously, I think the finishing quality is really good and on par on the price they offer. You can see the details on the headlight as well. It's not just a clear lens, but there are lines on the headlight lens. And actually, the side mirrors are foldable. This is really handy because if you roll over, right, the side mirror actually folded back itself, so it saves yourself from breaking a side mirror like in the case of the PPL. Tires, really squeezy. It feels like there's actually a foam insert inside. This is a really grippy version. Color, it comes in blue and a grey version. From those of you who can tell, this is like a Cherokee body, right? But I don't think it's licensed because I don't see any logo over here. You see the finishing is really good. I'm definitely going to stick the decals on it to make it look even better because now it looks a bit plain, although it still looks good. So the physical side of it is about 28 cm long, a bit over 12 cm height. Max width of it from the tires, the outside of the tires, about 13 cm. The wheelbase is 153-ish mm. Chassis, everything plastic. The linkages are plastic, drive shaft plastic. Axle case is plastic as well. You have the underside cover plastic as well. Except the frame rail, which is in metal, painted in black. Steering rack, plastic as well. Swivel horn, plastic, which is pretty normal for being an RTR. To separate the body from the chassis is super duper easy. This is a hard body. I thought I'm going to remove a lot of screws, but no. If you notice, down here there's a clip. There's a clip at the front. You just push or pull them. And your body is off. So there is actually a light control for your front headlight. Let's have a look at the chassis first. This kind of reminds me of like a TRX4. In the spec, they listed this as a 370 size brush motor. It's the 2-speed gearbox in a pretty compact, small profile. And there's a 9-gram servo, which is actually axle mounted. This is what you all like. The way it's mounted is also quite unique. It's actually vertical, whereas usually it's mounted horizontally. There's also a second 9-gram servo for the gear shift. The battery is not plugged in yet. This is receiver, probably a 4-channel one and 4 ports over here. Motor output over here for the brush motor. So this is a 2-in-1 electronic with receiver and ESC built in. Battery, 2-cell 500 mAh. Chassis wise, simple, straightforward, but really high quality material being used. There's also a tow hitch. It's really cool though, so I'm gonna find out if there's a 1/18 scale trailer that I can put this up. Thank God it's the old 3-pin plus 2-pin version. But this is the more common type where we can put a lipo buzzer on. Falling suspension, front and rear is really smooth. Springs are very soft as well. It's really smooth though, but there's no dampening. I think the front and rear axle are full lock, but tire is actually very close to the size of my Endura tires. Wheel adapter look very similar, but I tried installing onto Pinecone's wheel adapter and it won't fit, so probably just a simple change of wheel adapter should be able to make this fit. This is a standard axle, not a portal axle. It has metal lock diff, of course, for this price range, and ball bearings on both sides. It is smooth. Whoa. Now I'm excited to fire this up. Easy. Now comes to the remote. Just 2 AA batteries is needed. Slightly open. Short press on the remote. And you actually have to do a long press on the car for it to work. On the remote, we have steering trim to trim the forward alignment. steering dual rate to increase and reduce the steering rate. At max angle, there isn't a lot of steering angle. Not impressed. Steering reverse and speed. So if you push it to the left side, there's an A and B button on the side. A does nothing. According to the manual, the channel 4 is a lightning control channel as well. And the button B will be the gear shift. Let's say I'm holding the speed, and I press the button, so it alters the gear speed. So this is on a low speed, high speed. Of course, don't do it on a full throttle. Okay. Switch. Now we are on really low speed. Oh, that's really slow. Let's see. Yeah, that's so good. Now let's try going over obstacle with as low speed as possible in a low speed gear and also a low speed setting. So try to feather the throttle. That's super smooth. Whoa. Right. For the front headlight, there are two LEDs on each headlight. A signal indicator, one each yellow color. The weird one is at the back where there's no light now, even though the front headlight is on. But when we reverse, there's actually a red light, which is quite wrong. This is supposed to be white. And the other LED is the yellow indicator. Even when we brake, it doesn't trigger a brake light. Wow, it does look way better with stickers on. There's also a police version that you can create if you use this police sticker. There's National Geographic. I think that's about it on the technical side. Let's go for a real drive. To be honest, I don't have a proper location to test small scale rock crawler like this, because this is the only mountain or hill that I have to make do with that. But I'll touch on especially the low speed modulation and also the top speed run of this. Now we are on maximum speed and also on the high speed gear, which is quite fast. See, it's quite swift. Yeah, I think that's quite a nice speed if you want to drive fast, especially. And despite the high traction surface, it is not tipping over. The high traction surface, high traction tire. Okay, unless you go full throttle. Let's try how it performs going uphill on a high speed gear. I've benchmarked this with 110 scale WPL Suzuki Jimny. Let's see if we can go up easily. Okay, so in this case, you don't even need to upgrade your car with wheel sway. Now let's go low speed. We'll switch it to low speed gear. Let me position the car again. So amazing throttle modulation and gear ratio. As you can hear, the motor revving up. So I'm actually going very slowly. There's no sign of it tipping over like the WPL. It's super stable. So I would say this is worth the money. It's just that it's smaller than the WPL, which you can get for same price at a bigger scale. Let go my throttle, there seems to be a drag brake, right? This is very good. What? This is stock, you know, and it just stops there without rolling over. Despite having a hard shell, a hard body, it's not rolling over. Woo! So there's no drag brake. Let's do it again on a high speed gear test. I think you roll down. Oh! It just rolled down itself. I can reverse up easily as well. Okay, if I brake, okay, I was applying brake, but it just keep going down. Stop itself when it's on a low speed gear, and whenever I want to move forward, I just throttle a little bit to gain forward. Then we just stop it on the hill. This is especially useful when you don't have drag brake. So I'm actually applying low throttle, and it just goes down very easily. How about hillside holding? Hey, it's okay. It does have really great anti-rolling capability. The
This is good. Oh, I love the throttle modulation. And you see now it's actually quite steep already. Yeah, still holding onto it, even with a slight right steering angle. This surpassed my expectation. See, that's almost like 45 degrees. I think the soft tire contributed a lot of this performance. This does work much better than I anticipated. Let's go up. You can go up without rolling over. Amazing. Let's go around. Okay, let's just bash it around. It's pretty easy also on this grass, although very jumpy. But surprisingly, small doesn't mean it's difficult for this kind of off-roading. Yeah, I think it does well. And I was complaining about steering angle, but during the test just now, I think it's acceptable. I do not find issue with it, despite the smaller steering angle. Oops. Okay, let's play some sand. So that's pretty easy. Very nice. Oh, nice. Let's do a more realistic driving by using low speed gear and also low speed. Yeah, much smoother. Super good. Oh, drives really smooth on the low speed. It drives really smooth when it's on the low speed. It drives really smooth when it's wow. Let's go fast over this terrain. And you can do that as well easily. No, please. I'm on low speed gear and a low speed setting on the radio. This is super cool. What the hell? If they could replicate this on a 110 scale, that would be super good, man. Holy cow! Oi! So if you're interested to get one, please support us by going to our sister store, Asia RC Depot, link in the description. I'll see you on the next video where I do an in-depth comparison between this 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive, the Pinecone model from JXC RC. Cheers!